Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. Is it ever going to end? Big woke Claressa Shields, part of American sporting history, an Olympian, 2 gold medals, someone who should have been up and away, probably a gazillionaire by now. But she's chosen instead to be a side chick. Let me tell you something, man. This stuff going on with Claressa and Papoose, just all of this drama. I was out fishing today, right? We were out all day fishing. My sons and I, we catching hammerhead shark, mangrove snapper. They caught this thing called a spade fish. They caught saltwater trout. So when we're done, we're heading home now. It's probably like 10 o'clock at night. I stop off at a gas station and I'm talking to a lady in there, older white lady named Kate, country woman, man. And my son said something to me, and I said something to him about Sugar Ray Leonard. And the lady, we were talking about boxing, because my sons, we all like boxing. Anyway, the lady behind the counter was like, Sugar Ray Leonard was a bad man, him and Muhammad Ali. And I was like, what you know about boxing? And she was like, I know Muhammad Ali was my favorite, and Sugar Ray Leonard. I said, yeah. I said, you know Floyd Mayweather? She like, yeah. I said, what you think about Sugar Ray Leonard compared to Floyd? She was like, Sugar Ray, all day. I said, okay. Then I told her who I was. And I was like, if you like boxing, you should follow my channel. And she was, she looked me up. And then, check it out now. She like, do you talk about Claressa Shields? I said, what do you know about Claressa Shields? She like, all I know is that she was a married man who don't seem to be getting a divorce. And my oldest son started rolling. And I just started laughing. And I said, that's crazy. Because I would have never thought this woman, look, man, probably like 64, 65, white lady, very country, redneckish, and she knew about the drama. So I said, you know what, man, it's time for me to do a little video, which I do videos all the time, and talk about this. And I'm telling you, I ain't making this shit up. The whole world is looking at Claressa Shields, and they're saying, she's lost. She's delusional. And forget the men, right? Forget what we think. The women are looking at her and saying, this is crazy. Because everyone's trying to figure out why he just won't divorce Remy or why she won't sign up, whatever's going on between the two. What's the holdup? Now, of course, some say, well, the problem is this right here, Hood. What Remy posted, suggesting that he looks like he may be trying to get more money out of her. A lot of people were shocked to find out that he had Claressa wearing Remy's jewelry. Now that's crazy. First of all, it's crazy if you took something from your wife to give to another chick to wear. And it's even more crazy for the chick to accept it knowing it's the guy's wife's and then wearing it. That is complete madness. So you got fans out here who, everybody has an opinion. But the bottom line, they're looking at it and they're saying, all right, look, whatever Papoose has going on with his wife, Remy, why would Claressa just sit there on the sideline and just wait and wait and wait, thinking that at some point in time she's going to have Papoose all to herself? And see, what makes it worse, right? Things have been further exacerbated when Claressa went on a damn talk show and they set her ass up, didn't they? They set her up with the okie doke. Now, I'm going to tell you, what she said on this show was not palatable to most people. You understand? So for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, you probably need to listen to this.
Just got out of a relationship where, once again, my relationship was public. And when it didn't, after being engaged and then not getting married, you're like, hell no, I'm not going public again. So that was like, okay, now I'm back in another public relationship. But then it has this drama tied to it that I didn't ask for. when I'm trying to elevate.
Now, she said she didn't ask for the drama, but you knew you were messing with a man who was married. So you asked for it, and you knew what you were walking into. You didn't care. But the thing is, when someone wants to be private and someone wants to keep things a secret, that means they don't want nobody to know. So you knew there was going to be drama. That's why y'all were trying to keep it private and a secret. Because y'all knew what y'all were doing was wrong. There was drama that awaited if it got out. Well, y'all got caught slipping and it went out. So you knew what you were doing. And that's crazy.
I'm trying to be like the Beyonce of boxing.
I know that's
Make
right.
the money. Like, I have the potential to get the $20 million Nike deal. So
No, she used to have a potential. She would never get a $20 million Nike deal. She'll never get any deal of any kind of financial significance. It's over. Those opportunities are up and away. They're gone. I've done videos on this. When it comes to brands, when they're looking at a person, they look at you personally, relationships, everything. Professionally, your attitude, if you're likable, if you're marketable, if they want you to represent their brand, because basically you're an extension of their brand. And for all the damage Claressa has done to herself and to her brand, no one will ever attach themselves to her. No one. And if it is, trust me, there won't be no damn Nike. And it won't be none of them big name brands. There'll probably be some low hanging fruit. Something that none of us would probably want to be attached to anyway.
So it's like I'm working to get that. So it's like when they see me steering clear and, hey, swerving on the drama.
It's saying she's steering clear and swerving the drama, right? Like we don't know what's going on with her every day because she's on the internet creating drama, throwing shit at everybody, stirring the pot. She's the ringleader. But this is where this interview gets good. Then I'm going to break some shit down for you because 2 years later, still waiting, we need to try to understand why a person would do this.
That's why it's like I'm trying to get somewhere because I'm done boxing.
Can I ask you a real question? Because I didn't be here before. How much longer are you willing to be in a relationship with somebody's husband? Because at the end of the day, that's what people are looking at.
Well, pause.
Okay.
Pause, because that's not somebody's husband.
Okay.
Papoose filed for divorce. Y'all hate to say that word, but it's the word that's out there. He filed for divorce because he's serious about me.
Okay. Now this is the problem. Now look, y'all know we're Hood Champion. I don't care what these people do. It's entertaining to me. I enjoy talking about it. This shit's better than the movie. I ain't never seen nothing this entertaining. Well, if someone files for divorce and it still isn't finalized 2 years later, I'm trying to understand what that means, and I'm trying to understand how Claressa could be sitting here somehow feeling like she deserves a pat on her back because Pat told her he filed for divorce because he wants to be with her. Almost like he walked away from Remy to be with Claressa. So this is what she got going on. Now, who knows what he's telling her? But this is what's going on in her mind. And you say, well, how did you arrive at that conclusion? Because she just said it. He filed for divorce because he wants to be with me. But I'm going to tell you, when you start trying to figure out what this shit could mean, the truthful answer is there isn't one explanation. Now, as far as this thing not being finalized here 2 years after him and Claressa started to rub-a-dub or whatever they had going on, there could be some complex financial disputes with Remy and Papoose. There could be some disagreements over property, could be child custody issues, scheduling delays in court, settlement negotiations, one spouse contesting the divorce, administrative delays, or maybe the two parties came together and said, look, we ain't gonna divorce. We just gonna, you do your thing, I do mine, and when the time is right, we'll go separate ways. There is a child involved. So I don't know what's going on. But it could also reflect hesitation by one or both parties. But I can't conclude without any direct evidence of why the divorce hasn't happened. But what I can tell you is Claressa is the girlfriend, and she's out here thinking after 2 years, the divorce is coming any day now. It's like dangling a carrot in front of a goddamn donkey to get it to move. You know what I'm saying? You need that donkey to move, so you set it up when you had that carrot dangling in front of him, and he's so dumb, he keep chasing after the carrot, not realizing that you dangling in front of their ass, and they'll never get to it. But it gets you to where you need to be. Because Clarissa's really out here thinking we're building a future together. This delay is temporary. Everything takes time. What y'all don't know about relationships and divorces is that divorces take time. How you know all this? You been through a divorce? Are you part of the process? See, this is the thing that gets me when I listen to Claressa. See, there's something called trust but verify. She's trusting what Papoose is saying, but she ain't verifying nothing because he's not giving her a peek behind the tent flaps. He wants to keep her in the dark. And to be honest with you, she deserves to be left in the dark. You know why? Because it's none of her damn business what he's doing with his wife, Remy. She's made a decision to be the side chick. If you don't like it, get out the relationship. You know what I'm saying? She really out here feels that the delay with the divorce is just something temporary and it's coming. It's coming. We're building a future together. Y'all just hating and creating false narratives. Y'all know the divorce is coming. Why y'all just asking stupid questions? Everyone knows the divorce is coming. Okay, 2 years later. So what's going to happen when it's 3 years later, 4 years later, 5 years later? Big Goat seemed to have forgotten that she wanted to have kids at age 30. And she could have had kids by 30. She was with that other dude, even if it wasn't with him. If she was with someone other than Papoose, she could have probably had kids already. You see, that dude is damn near 20 years older than her. He don't want no more children. Why come make children when you're damn near 50? Especially with somebody who's telling you they're impulsive and has anger issues and the whole family's a little bit Sesame Street. Why would anyone who's aware of this come and make a child? She need to ask herself, would she make a child with somebody who had a family like hers? And how comfortable would she be having a child with someone like that, knowing if something happened to her, that child's probably going to be subject to all kind of crazy shit. Because the person more than likely is going to be around their family at some point in time, and now that child's going to be exposed to all kind of nonsense that a child doesn't deserve to be exposed to. You see, all those beliefs that Claressa has going on in her head, they may be accurate, or they may not be. So the key question becomes whether actions consistently match those expectations over time. I mean, 2 years is a long time for anybody to be waiting. And I don't understand it. I'm for real. I'm like, what happened? This girl done forgot, man, about who she is and what she was. And I'll be honest with you, I don't believe I know. People have come out and talked about it. I believe she's always had an attitude. She always been chippy. She always been hard to work with, hard to deal with. I think she's always had some ways about her, man, that were very unlikable. But I think this relationship puts a whole nother layer of stress on her. And as a result, she just doesn't have the patience and the tolerance for much of anything. Now, when you have somebody who already has anger issues, right? And then you add more stress to them, more weight on their shoulders. Well, you know what you get? You get what you got here. You get a big goat, an angry big goat. But she's a big woman. She's choosing to live this lifestyle. She's choosing to accept being treated like she's nothing. But this is what she chose. So it's not like we're days without meaningful movement. It's not like we're months without meaningful movement. We're years without meaningful movement. So most people would have already began reassessing whether the relationship is meeting their needs. And you can watch Big Vote. I know she knows the relationship's not meeting her needs. She wants someone to be there with her in Atlanta in that house. She said she wanted to. She said I got a big old house, 5 bedrooms or whatever she said, 7 bedrooms, whatever she said. She wants children in every bedroom. She's not getting that. She'll never get that. Not from him anyway. So the relationship is not meeting her needs. So why the hell is she still here 2 years later, still waiting? She's young. But it just takes me back to asking questions about the married person. You know what I'm saying? Now look, we don't know all the facts. You know what I'm saying? So it's impossible for me to assign a motive. But one thing, in my opinion, I don't think Papoose wants a divorce. I think there's a lot more going on behind the scenes, and he and Remy have figured out to keep that between them. And until they sort that out, he and Remy ain't never going to divorce. They're going to keep doing what they got to do to get to a certain point, and then when they feel they're both ready, then that's when they'll do it. You know what I'm saying? But there are a lot of possibilities about what this could say about Papoose as the married person. You know, just trying to be fair. Maybe he genuinely wants to divorce, but there's some legal obstacles, you know? Or maybe he's conflicted emotionally and like, shit, I don't really want to have a clean break in this union with my wife because I still want to have some kind of connection there. Or maybe he and Remy both are just delaying a difficult decision because they're just thinking about how it's going to impact both of them and impact, you know what I mean, the certain little body that connects the two of them. So it could be that he's like trying to resolve financial and family issues first. Maybe that's something they're trying to sort out. There's all kind of rumors floating around the internet about taxes and this and that. So what I'm saying is each possibility is different, and outsiders usually don't have enough information to know what applies. But one thing we all can agree on is 2 years later, and Clarissa's still waiting in a holding pattern. And most people, at this point, most people are enjoying seeing her suffer. But those who can set the emotion aside, we're sitting here scratching their head like, what is a young woman doing, wasting her life, when there's all these other dudes that are available that probably don't have any baggage that maybe she could build with? What is she doing here waiting on this one? Because like she said, she got all kind of athletes and all kind of people trying to talk to her, and all kind of men want her. She's glowed up now. Glowed, man, please. Mm-hmm. Well, if it's like that, what you doing? Because the relationship ain't meeting your needs. And that's why we got to wonder and have a conversation. What does it say about the person who waits? We just talked about the person who's married. What about Claressa herself? What about Big Bro? What about, man, please? You see, waiting is not by itself evidence that someone's weak, mentally challenged, or being abused. Okay? But everybody's going to have an opinion about Big Bro. There's a lot of people who stay for many reasons. I tell you what, it wouldn't be a hood champion, I'll tell you that shit. Some people stay because of hope. Some people stay because it's love. Some people stay because it's showing loyalty. Others are showing optimism. Others have an emotional investment and have a tough time breaking away with it. Others are being told all kind of little sweet nothing and promises, and they believe what they're being told. And others are just like, man, please, I don't want to start over. I just went from one relationship to the next, 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 to the next. Now I ended up with this dude. Yeah, this is a fucking circus, but you know what? I just don't want to start over, because the reality is no man with any pride, any honor, is going to want to be with Claressa Shields. And it's not even her. With any woman who's been out here openly talking about all the sexual things that she's been doing with a man. No man is going to want to be walking around holding a woman's hand when she's out there talking about the things she does sexually to another man. And the whole world knows about it because it goes viral. So yeah, that could be a fear of starting over. As that could be why a person like Claressa is still waiting 2 years later. Any man with any sense ain't gonna want nothing to do with her. Now they got some grimy dudes out there. They may see an opportunity to get some money or something. But she ain't never gonna be in a healthy relationship. Because all this shit that she's put out there to the world is gonna come back to haunt her. All of this shit's gonna come back to haunt her. If her and Papoose don't work out, which it doesn't look like it is, it's gonna come back to haunt her. Now remember, I'm not wishing bad on her. I'm just being real with you. It's gonna come back to haunt her, man. Look at Kim Kardashian. Even with Kanye, he messed around, had kids with her, and look, even he come out talking shit. Look at the problem with them children over there, man. You know what I'm saying? Them kids know their mother was a goddamn freak. Look at these rappers and different people talking about the mother, man. That what kind of you're a billionaire, but I mean, what kind of life is that? I tell you what, man. A lot of people say that was because Claressa has a mental health condition. I'll just tell you this. Those motivations for a person who just wants to wait, like she's waiting, on a person who's married, they can be very common in relationships and do not on their own indicate a mental health condition, right? But I will say this, if someone experiences manipulation, coercion, isolation, or repeated broken promises, those are issues worth examining with trusted friends, family, or qualified mental health professionals. And this comes back into the conversations we have on our lives, where a lot of the ladies say, look, Hood, we're talking from the lens, we're talking as women, and from the lens of a female. We see manipulation going on. We see coercion. We see her being isolated now. She don't have nobody around her anymore. We see repeated broken promises. For example, gonna have a baby, I think it was 2 years ago. Then we're gonna have a baby this year. Now she's gonna have a baby next year. But see, she can't examine any of this stuff with friends or family because they've all been somehow ran off. And as far as a qualified mental health professional, they don't know why she's not going and seeing somebody and talking about this. And they understand there's a cost of waiting. And I understand this piece too. The longer uncertainty continues, the more likely it's going to affect emotional well-being. Claressa has been affected emotionally by this relationship and looking like a clown out here and still waiting on Papoose to finalize his divorce. The whole world is laughing at her and the whole world has totally lost respect for him. You see, she's been affected emotionally. It's affected her long-term planning as well. She had everything written down, how she wanted her life to go. All that long-term planning has been disrupted. Her family goals has been disrupted. Her career focus is all over the place. Look what happened to her career. She was up and away. He got involved. Now look what she did to herself. Went straight Sesame Street. It's like he turned her into goddamn Larry, Moe, and Curly. I ain't never seen one person be the goddamn Three Stooges. But that's what he did. He made her, and it turned into a spectacle. The public perception has been affected. So what you doing still waiting 2 years later? Now I'm gonna say this, man. It doesn't mean waiting is always wrong. But it does mean people often benefit from periodically reassessing whether the relationship is still aligned with their goals and values. This is what Claressa should be doing. By this point in time, after that interview she just did, this is what she should be doing. Not talking about punching people and whipping ass, and if someone disrespect me, I'm going to go off. I'm going to let no one disrespect me again. No, you disrespecting yourself, man. You got to love yourself. No one going to love you like you love yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's time to reassess whether the relationship is aligned with her goals and her values and really what she wants. Because her emotional well being has been trashed, her long term planning has been trashed, family goals, career focus has been just totally scrapped, and the public perception has been ruined. And you know what makes it even worse? She's a public figure. And as a public figure, she faces added pressure. You know what I'm saying? That's why with her, and I'm going to go ahead and call her this, you may agree or not, she's a celebrity. And her and Papoose come together, it's a celebrity relationship. And their celebrity relationship has become public. It's been that way for a couple of years now. And the discussion has extended beyond the relationship itself. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, fans began connecting personal decisions to the public image, which we talk about. Everyone talks about it daily. Marketability, sponsorship opportunities, media coverage. Everyone is talking about it. Excuse me. I felt that sneeze coming on. So whether those connections are fair is another question, right? Because not everything is fair, but it is what it is. But public perception can influence how brands evaluate endorsement opportunities, and that's why she hasn't received anything. So she can talk about, I know I deserve a $20 million deal with Nike. No, you don't. Because the public perception of you is awful. And it has destroyed any opportunity for a big endorsement deal from any brand. I don't even think she can get one with Top Ramen. The chicken noodle soup, she sure as hell ain't gonna be at my favorite spot, the Golden Dragon, getting no fried rice and chicken wings. It's over, man. Now, to be a bit more serious, it's rarely possible to attribute sponsorship decisions to a single factor because companies also consider athletic performance, audience reach, reputation, and business strategy. But when you just think about that, athletic performance, okay, she can fight. We all know that. But she also went out here shoving Franchon. She also came out here and slapped Alicia Baumgartner. That's all bad. All bad for Claressa Shields. Then you think about audience reach. Look at her interaction with the audience. It's always aggressive. Think about her reputation. It's trash. I'm not saying this to be me. I'm just having a conversation. This is what she's done. So, if there's any general advice for someone in a situation like this, look, I wouldn't consider myself a relationship expert, but I'm a 51-year-old dude. A lot of y'all are way older than me. I have experience with a lot of different things. You guys have experience with a lot of different things. I have experience with people, man. You know what I'm saying? The human capital is the most important resource. A lot of years dealing with people and seeing different things, especially like this. And a lot of you guys have been through it or you've observed it. But a lot of the ladies, y'all been through shit like this. Y'all already know what's at the end of the road. I just think the question that I think Claressa needs to ask herself, are my needs being met? You know what I'm saying? Are there clear, observable steps toward the future that we've discussed? Because obviously her and Papoose are having conversations about something for her to think she having a baby and they getting married and shit. But are there clear, observable steps towards the future we discuss? Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't watch it as hard as other people. The live I get filled in, I see a little bit here and there. But just from what little bit I know, I'm not aware of any observable steps. All I'm hearing is words. Okay? And then another question that should be asked is, do words consistently match actions? You know what I mean? And if nothing changed over the next year, she needs to ask herself, would I still continue in this relationship? Because the internet is waiting to internet. And if she goes into 2027, same old, Let me tell you something. The internet is going to have a field day, and Claressa's going to make more thousandaires. She's going to make more thousandaires. And there are people out here who are sitting at home, they're working in the airport sniffing luggage. They done figured out how to turn a camera on and a microphone and just talk about Claressa Shields, and they're making 3 times more money than what they were making at the airport sniffing luggage. They're making that from doing these videos on her. So she can keep giving people content. And I'm telling you, man, there's a whole nother 10 years of people of content creation that's going to take place about Claressa Shields, because her story is so interesting that for the rest of her life, people are going to do videos on her because she just put so much out there. And that's unfortunate, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? But all those questions about all my needs being met, are there any observable steps towards what we've discussed? Do these words consistently match actions? After another year, would I still choose this relationship? Those questions can become more useful than trying to guess another person's intentions. Quit worrying about what he's saying and looking at what he's doing, and start really talking to yourself and asking yourself the real questions. Is this meeting your goals? Is this what you want? Can you do this another year? Because that 2 years later, still waiting, that shit gonna be 3, 4, and 5 years. And if it's not, he and Claressa are gonna go separate ways, in my opinion. But anyway, y'all know I don't like her. I don't dislike her. She's just interesting to me. Ain't gonna get me defending Big Vote. I stay neutral. But trust me, she disrespected Muhammad Ali. So that'll always be a thorn on my side. And she disrespected Shadesha after Shadesha collapsed off that stool. Those are the 2 big thorns in my side. Those are the ones that, even though I could be neutral and I could talk to anybody, but those are the ones that ain't no getting beyond that when it comes to Hood Champion. That shit was crazy to me. Going at Layla but disrespecting her dad and that Shadesha Green stuff. So to see her in the situation now, I'm just shaking my head. Shaking my head like part of American sporting history to see a person just go up in flames like this. Absolutely mind-boggling. But it's entertaining. Y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze.